Are you ready to actually start prompting the right way when you're using ChatGPT, Google Gemini, or Claude, or any other AI app? In this video, I'm going to break down my best tips when it comes to prompting in the best way. And this is coming from someone who has a course on how to use ChatGPT for virtual assistants. Check that out below. Also an AI consultant and has been using ChatGPT ever since essentially it came out. So I'm super excited to break down what that looks like for you as well. Now, first is a little prompting 101, basically just the basics. So a prompt is whatever you input into the app. So let's use ChatGPT just because that's the main one that I always use. So input is your prompt, output is what ChatGPT gives you. Prompt engineering is essentially the skill of being able to put in the right prompt into ChatGPT to be able to get the best answer. That's essentially what it is. So if you're still confused, if you're not clear, if you've heard the term before and you don't really know what it means, that's essentially what it means. Is it's learning how to use the AI in the best way when you prompt, when you ask it for things. Now, if you're using Midjourney, for example, or Canva for images, it's the same thing. It's learning how to be able to give it the best chance to succeed and give you the right answer that you're looking for, rather than getting frustrated and giving up on how to use it. Now, this is something I'm super passionate about for people to learn, just because AI is here, it's not going anywhere. I have a ton of videos on my channel on how to use ChatGPT, Google Gemini. Soon I'll start diving into Claude as well, so let me know in the comments if you have any questions on any of that. But that is essentially what prompt engineering is. Now, the first thing I always teach people, especially as they're getting started, is the WOAH method. Now, a WOAH method is something I totally made up because it was getting frustrating for me to kind of try to get the right answers every single time out of ChatGPT. It is something I have taught to our executive assistants at 2XC for my agency, and something that I have done in multiple workshops and seminars and so many other talks that I have done in the last 2 years talking about AI. So what the WOAH method actually is anytime you're starting a new chat, anytime you're starting with a blank page, ChatGPT, Gemini, any other AI out there, is you use the WOAH method to be basically your first prompt. So what that looks like is W is who you are, what you do, and who you work for. And the O is the outcome that you need from it. A is are you ready, and H is how. So as a really good example, when I was trying to craft up the content calendar basically for when this video was going to come out, I gave it a context of who I am. So I am a YouTube content creator who is an AI consultant. A lot of my mission is to, this is the what do you do part, is to help other people be able to understand and fully utilize AI. And the third part of who you work for, my target audience are people who are freelancers or business owners who are just getting started on using AI tools. So that is for me, my statement, and that gives ChatGPT a context on who I am. So then it gives context on the O, which is the outcome. I'm creating the content calendar for August. I'm creating 4 videos. Give me a sequential order of what these videos should be, so then it's easy for me to be able to create a series out of it. So that is essentially the prompt that I did. I asked, are you ready? Because it's just a little bit of, it's a good way to kind of check if ChatGPT understands what it is that you're asking from it. The H is the how, so I'll put, make sure that it's in bullet points, make sure it's in a calendar format, make sure it's a table format, whatever it looks like. I will put in the specifics of how I want the output from ChatGPT to look like. So that's essentially what the WOAH method is. Again, it's every single time that you start a prompt. Now, however, both on the free and the paid version, if you're using ChatGPT, there is custom instructions now where you can basically pre-train it, put the H and the W part of the WOAH method in there already. However, if you are someone, for example, for me as an AI consultant, I have multiple clients and I prep their prompts ahead. I don't really use the custom instructions because it'll be different people every single time, but it helps when I am just using it for my own business, when I don't have to keep introducing myself or keep giving ChatGPT my preferences, because it's already in the custom instructions. If you don't know how to find it, it's basically just click on your profile on ChatGPT and you'll see custom instructions in there. Next is more context means better output. What that means is the more context that you give into the AI, the more specific it can be on the output that you need. Because most of the time, imagine AI as this box that has most of the knowledge of the world, anything that's public anyway, in it already. And every time you ask it a question, it opens up, gives you the thing that you asked for, and closes again. So if you are more specific, if you give it better information, if you have a lot of context that you can give to it, the better it can look into the contents of that box and bring out the things that you really need. So kind of just keep that in mind, is the more words that you actually put into your prompt, the better ChatGPT or AI's responses is going to be, versus if you just use like one sentence. If you are able to write a little bit of a paragraph, give it more context, my best thing, to be honest, and this is a bonus tip for you guys, is I will actually just use the ChatGPT app on my phone and actually go ahead and give it the context, talk to it, so then I am able to just kind of brain dump a little bit as I'm giving it the context of what I need it to do. Next, and this is a really big one, is adding examples. Now, a lot of people have asked me how I'm able to train an AI assistant on writing as me. I just honestly give it so many examples of how I currently write. So what I have is I have a doc of all of the posts that I've done, essentially from 2019 when I was a little bit more active on Facebook and on LinkedIn, and I basically fed it into ChatGPT. I'm moving into Claude a little bit to experiment, but I've uploaded it to both AI, so then I have a little AI assistant writer for myself, so that anytime that I have a post or I'm stuck on something, I can run it through ChatGPT or Claude to be able to get a better output. So basically, if you have examples, so let's say you're asking it to write a contract for you, if you're asking it to create a job offer or write a cover letter for you if you're applying for jobs, if you give it examples, then it will use the best from those examples for the output that you need. Next is break it down. What I mean by this is you don't have to just put a really big task into ChatGPT. It's better if you break it down into smaller tasks. So for example, this is something that I've used multiple times before. If you're creating content that's good enough for a year, I would go with like, hey, give me 12 things that my target audience has a problem with. That is now my monthly content. And then my next prompt will be like, go ahead and break it down to 4 solutions for each problem that I have. That becomes my weekly posts. And then I'll ask it to even break it down. What are 7 things about that solution that people should know? That becomes my daily post. So that's what I mean by breaking it down. A lot of people call it a lot of different ways. It could be multi-prompting, it could be sequencing. There's a lot of different names to what it's called, but essentially it's just breaking down a big task and then just asking ChatGPT to keep breaking it down for you until you get to the specific output that you want. And finally, and this is something that I've loved using and I haven't seen a lot of people do, is ask it for multiple examples or multiple outputs. So what I mean by this is, for example, let's say I'm writing or asking it to write a LinkedIn post for me. I will ask, give me 3 examples of this post. That way I am able to choose from its best examples of what it thinks I want, and I'm able to even customize and give it feedback like, oh, I liked this from post B, then you add it to post C, or grab this from post A, to combine them all together. So it gives you just a little bit more variety and flexibility on what it is that you actually need from what you're asking from ChatGPT. Now I have a bajillion more tips like this. You can check out the rest on my YouTube channel, but if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Again, comment below if you have any questions at all. I would love to make a future video out of it. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those 2 playlists right here and the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!